There's reporting now, and I think it's going to be official soon, that Manny Pacquiao is going to come back, age 46, to fight against Mario Barrios. You called most, if not all, of Manny's most substantive fights over the years. What do you think of that?
Sad. You know, just sad that he feels any reason or urge whatsoever. However, on the other hand, fighters fight. It's what they do. Hey, Jim Lampley was gone for 6 years. Was it stupid for him to choose to come back and fall a fight? Was it a risk? You know, was there a possibility that he could embarrass himself and fall on his face? Are there some viewers and listeners out there who think that's exactly what he did? Sure, that's possible. But I was back doing something I love, and I was getting paid for it. So I understand why Manny wants to come back and do something he loves and get paid for it. But it's one thing to talk into a microphone when you've been a few years away and you're a little bit older. It's entirely a different thing to go in and hit and get hit. And he made ungodly, indescribable sums of money. So I wish it were enough. But I'm not surprised that it isn't. You can't be surprised that it isn't. There's nothing in the world. Way back when Ray Leonard was having trouble retiring, and I was friends with Ray, I asked him one time, in the closest, most intimate kind of friendship way, I said, Ray, why is it that you can't give this up? It was one of the greatest quotes I ever heard. He said, Jim, I tried owning restaurants and I tried eating in restaurants. I tried dancing in nightclubs and I tried owning nightclubs. I did every other thing I could do that was supposed to give me that kind of feedback. There is nothing in life that matches the moment of standing up off your stool, sweat glistening on your chest, naked in the eyes of the world except for those trunks and shoes, and stepping forward into the spotlight to face another man. Nothing can match it. I get it. I totally understand that. I understood Ray. I understand Mike. I understood Manny, or I will understand Manny. You know, does it make me happy? It's not really my business. It's their business.
You called what was still the most successful fight in boxing history, which was Mayweather-Pacquiao. I've never been a part of a buildup like that, where every mainstream outlet that maybe had abandoned boxing over the years came roaring back. I mean, it was massive. And then the fight happens, and we don't get what we hope for. What did you come away from that fight feeling? What did you think of how that whole thing played out?
Well, I want to start this by saying that I like Floyd. I get along with Floyd. I'm happy for Floyd that he was the first great social media master who demonstrated what the power of social media could be, how an event could be sold on social media, how it didn't matter whether you were approved of or disapproved of, as long as you were being noticed and as long as people cared about you in some way, that you could be alienating on social media and you could still build a following that way. Floyd invented all that. One thing I often say to people is, no Mayweather, no Trump. Trump is a boxing fan. He saw what Floyd did. He realized they don't have to love you. They just have to care about you. And he got that. And mined it to tremendous effect. So for, I don't know, 2-3 years before the fight took place, I'd be walking down a hallway in a hotel in Vegas or standing in an airport or walking down a sidewalk somewhere, and somebody would grab me and say, when am I going to see Mayweather-Pacquiao? And every time that happened, I would look at them and say, what is it you expect to see? Okay? Why are you so excited about a fight, which I promise you is not going to yield combat, is not going to yield anything in the way of marketable violence, which is going to be an exhibition of one person's tremendous skill, technique, defensive capability, and is not going to be the can't miss fight that you think it is. And people would give me blank looks. Huh? You know, what are you talking about? I can't wait to see Mayweather-Pacquiao. So it happened. and it happened, and I was chosen to call the fight. And I saw exactly the fight that I expected to see. And I knew who would win it from 2 years before, and he won it exactly the way that I thought he would win it. And looking back in my mind, I can't remember whether Pacquiao won a round. If he did, I didn't see it. It just seemed to me like it was the same thing over and over, and Floyd demonstrating that the great defensive counterpuncher with foot skills and speed is never going to have to worry against a full-on, straight-ahead attacker who only knows one way to fight.
So you think it always would have played out that way? Because the what-ifs now are what happens 09,
It would never,
11.
ever have been any difference. If they were to fight when Floyd is 50 years old, it's still going to be the same thing.
Floyd's in pretty good shape. Maybe they will.
What?
Floyd's in pretty good shape. Maybe they...
There's no question that Floyd is always going to be in shape. Floyd is disciplined. Floyd avoids the bad habits that destroy fighters. He presents the idea of this really active nightlife that implies risk for his conditioning. You know, he's drinking water. Floyd's as smart as anyone I ever knew in boxing, and he proved it by making the most money as a relatively light-hitting featherweight to welterweight counterpuncher. You know, how do you do that? You do it via social media. He was the person who painted the picture to me what social media could do.
And he created maybe a blueprint that we're seeing Canelo follow to a degree, where it's, I'm going to be a businessman first. I'm not going to do anything. If I have the power, I'm going to use it effectively.
Who was one of the two people who beat Canelo?
Exactly. Learned.